Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday evening here on our YouTube channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. As you do know, if you don't, you will know now, we've got a Congress coming up in about 2 weeks, not this Saturday, the following Saturday weekend, and we're going to start preparing for that this Tuesday lesson. So we'll have lessons on that and on the topic of preparation for opening the heart at the Congress. All right, so the Congress for the weekend of the 28th of January. As always, if you have any queries, questions, you can shoot them through and we'll try to answer them best we can. And also, if you're new to our YouTube channel, if you're interested in the wisdom of Kabbalah, you can always go to Kabbalah.info and get acquainted with us and join our KABU Academy and study with like-minded people from around the world. In the interim, let's continue and let's see how we're going to go with this topic. All right. Preparation for the opening of the heart at the Congress. Selected excerpts from sources. This is from Rabash. Sometimes spirituality is called a soul. We must always awaken what the heart forgets, what is needed for the correction of the heart, love of friends, whose purpose is to achieve love of others. This is not a pleasant thing for the heart, which is called self-love. Hence, when there is a gathering of friends, we must remember to bring up the question, meaning everyone should ask himself how much we have advanced in love of others and how much we have done to promote us in that matter. Let's read it once again. We must always awaken what the heart forgets, what is needed for the correction of the heart, love of friends, whose purpose is to achieve love of others. This is not a pleasant thing for the heart, which is called self-love. Hence, when there is a gathering of friends, we must remember to bring up the question, meaning everyone should ask himself how much we have advanced in love of others and how much we have done to promote us in that matter. So as you can see, there's only one thing we've got to keep awakening all the time, and that's the love of others. Why? Because our heart needs the correction, as Rabash writes for us here. And the love of others is actually a tool. It's a jumping board for getting out of our self-love. Okay, and if we can get out of our self-love, we'll have the ability to feel what is outside of us, which is the Creator. So in order to step out of this narrow life, what we have to do is to awaken all the time the love of friends between us. Okay? The more we do for others, the more we can forget about ourselves. And the more we forget about ourselves, obviously, that's going to elevate us more and more because we're going to put our egoism on the side. We won't be able to use that. We won't want to use that if we have the force of the love of others. So the love of friends is actually a force. It's a power that can kind of get us out of ourselves and elevate us to a next level. And Rabash reminds us here, this is not a pleasant thing for the heart, which is called self-love, because our nature is self-love. And that's why it's not a pleasant thing, because we don't want to love others. We want to love ourselves. Okay, and that's our nature. So there's nothing much we can do about that, except we can counter it with the group by elevating the importance of loving others. All right, and that's the important thing. Okay, so we don't need to feel bad because we were created as creatures who have only self-love. However, though, we must not agree to stay that way. All right, and that's the important thing. So what we have to do is to make sure that we use the environment correctly in order to get out of ourselves and to elevate ourselves. So we need to check every day. All right, so hopefully all of you have a notebook and you can make notes every day and say, well, what can I do to increase the love of friends? What can I do for my friends today so that we can all advance in the love of others? And that's an important thing. It's an important exercise, because if I don't do things for what I want to attain, okay, if I don't do things, if I don't think about what I want to be, then obviously we're not going to progress in that direction. Okay. And I should check myself, as Rabash writes here. Everyone should ask himself how much we have advanced in the love of others. So compared to yesterday, where am I at? Okay, what's my situation today compared to yesterday? So if I don't constantly check myself, if I don't constantly monitor where I'm going, then I also won't know if I'm going off track. I also won't know where I need help, right? Because what we want to do eventually, obviously, is as we begin to fail in the love of others, we need to come to a prayer to the Creator. Right? In order for me to pray, I need to see the things that I want to, but I cannot do. Right? So that vision of being what I am with respect to what I want to be, and that distance is what's preparing us for a decent prayer, because I want to feel that stress in between those 2 points, what I'm aiming for and where I'm at. This is why we study every day in the wisdom of Kabbalah, as you probably know. This is excerpt number 2. Through the friction of the hearts, even of the strongest ones, each will bring out warmth from the walls of his heart, and the warmth will ignite the sparks of love until a clothing of love will form. Then both of them will be covered under one blanket, meaning a single love will surround and envelope the two of them, as it is known that adhesion unites two into one. Once again, through the friction of the hearts. So obviously through the friction of the hearts means through problems in the group, okay? When we're having problems in the group, when we've got problems between the friends, these things are important and they should happen, okay? Best happens internally, if I can evaluate it internally, rather than obviously exploding to the outside. So if in my heart I'm feeling this friction, this irritation, let's say, towards connecting with others, it's something I need to be aware of. Why? Because it's part of the game. And what I have to do is I have to push to get closer to the friends. So I have to kind of work and fight against that rejection. Okay. And the more I fight against that rejection, the more I can come closer to love. Right? You can't have love without the rejection. You've got to have both of them together. Right. So there's something for me to work on. And as I'm working on the rejection, I'm investing in the love. So as our hearts, they're tough. Okay, so everybody has a heart of stone. But if we're all working in order to love each other, then we're kind of softening things up a little bit. And it's like those stones, you rub them together or you hit them together and you get sparks, right? So this is how, by investing in the love of friends, even though we all are made of self-love, we can get close, and despite the rejections, if we keep pushing, we can ignite the love between us, okay? And that clothing of love will cover us. Then both of them will be covered under one blanket, meaning that single love will surround and envelop the two of them, as it is known that adhesion unites into one. So we want to be adhered to each other in the love of friends, right? So mutual love is that blanket that we have to kind of like put around us. And if we have that mutual blanket, then we can be above all our corporeal desires, because the love of friends, or the love or the unity between those people, will be far more important than our self-consideration. Any questions? How are we doing? All good? All right. Let's read excerpt number 3, Baal Salam, letter number 4. You lack nothing but to go out to a field that the Lord has blessed, and collect all those flaccid organs that have drooped from your soul, and join them into a single body. In that complete body, the Creator will instill His Shekinah incessantly, and the fountain of intelligence and high streams of light will be as a never-ending fountain. You lack nothing but to go out to a field that the Lord has blessed and collect all those flaccid organs that have drooped from your soul and join them into a single body. Okay, so as you can see, actually, this is a nice statement, because humanity is in such a state that our only problem is a good connection. Okay, as you can see, all the problems we have in the world, on the planet, between us, in the family, everything, every individual, family, national, international problems, they are all due to one reason, that we are self-love, so we don't think about the benefit of others. Okay, we don't really care about others. So our only problem is, our only lack is to bring everyone together, okay, into one single body. One single body means one desire. So we all have to come together in one desire. In that complete body, the Creator will instill His Shekinah incessantly. So if we all have the right desire towards the Creator, then obviously we can feel the Creator between us. Because if we're all directed towards the Creator, it means we are not directed to ourselves with self-love. So if we're all going towards the Creator, then the Creator can be towards us. That's simple. And the fountain of intelligence and high streams of light will be as a never-ending fountain. So once we connect with the Creator, that connection is now done. Okay, that's a done deal. So once we attain spirituality, we can't lose it. So that initial stage, that first step, that first entry into spirituality is the hardest. But once you do it, the rest flows, because what happens is now you've got experience, okay? And you have what's called an impression, a reshima, from that spiritual state, which you can build on top of. So it's like a baby being born in this world. It's a completely new environment once they're born. But day by day, what do they have? They have experience on that initial birth. They can build and grow on top of that. So as they grow, they begin to move, eat, taste, touch, walk, see, and everything. So growing up becomes an easier process once the baby is born. Okay, same with us as well. So all we have to do is be connected and then feel the Creator, feel that essence, the sensation of life called the Creator between us. And then in that sensation, we can begin to grow. And that's why it will be never ending. All right, excerpt number 4. This is from Rabash, letter number 24. You must always stand guard all day
Where is
and all night when you
all
feel a
those things we
state of
bought?
day or
Mark and
feel a
Spencer.
state of night. We say to the Creator, yours is the day and yours is also the night. Thus the night too, the darkness of night, comes from the Creator to man's favor too. As it is written, day to day utters speech, and night to night expresses knowledge. It follows that you must awaken the heart of the friends until the flame arises by itself, as our sages said about it. When you mount the candles, by that you will be rewarded with awakening the love of the Creator upon us. Once again, let's read it. You must always stand guard all day and all night when you feel a state of day or feel a state of night. So we must always try to be in the present moment of our intention. Okay, a person, if we want to live consciously, We have to be inside this mechanism where we can always come back to what we're aiming at, right? If we don't do that during the day, you'll find yourselves, your thoughts, mind going all over the place. You have to find or have a mechanism that brings you back to the thought, okay? What your intention is, what the purpose of life is, what you're trying to attain in life, and so on. Okay? Otherwise, you'll move into that unconscious state of living like an animal. We say to the Creator, yours is the day and yours is also the night. Basically, it means that everything comes to a person from the Creator. So we just have to work on how to react to what's coming to us. Thus the night too, the darkness of night comes from the Creator to man's favor too, as it is written, day to day utters speech and night to night expresses knowledge. So it says there is nothing bad that comes to a person from the Creator, despite the fact that sometimes you might feel life as a bit of a pain in the neck. However, though, it's for us to grow. Okay, growing is never easy. Kids are always falling down. Even at the age of a grown-up person, as you can see, we learn every day something new in life. And it's not easy. As we get older, life is a bit more tougher for all of us, isn't it? More responsibilities. You got to be on your own more. You got to stand up on your own 2 feet more, and so on and so on. So life is actually a bit of a drama for everyone. However, though, everything is coming to us from the Creator in order to grow us. So if we want to grow up, we have to relate to what life is bringing to us correctly. Okay, and that's what the Creator wants. So we're in a growing up process here. It follows that you must awaken the heart of the friends until the flame rises by itself, as our sages said about it, when you mount the candles. By that, you will be rewarded with awakening the love of the Creator upon us. So no matter what happens, whatever the Creator brings to us, we have a role. Okay, so we have to relate to what's going on. We have to relate to what the Creator is bringing to us. And accordingly, we then have to grow up with that relationship. It's like parents are always bringing us something when we're growing up, right? They want to raise us. They want to, make sure we grow up nice and safe and well, so that we're so that we grow up nice and healthy. Okay. Same with the Creator. So when the Creator brings us something, we also have to relate to the situation in such a way that it will complement what He's bringing to us, so we can grow up properly. All right, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go on to item number 5. This is from Rabash, lesson number 8. At the end of the day, this is a group of people who've gathered in a certain place under a certain leader to be together. With superhuman courage, they face up to all those who rise against them. Indeed, they are brave men with a strong spirit, and they are determined not to retreat 1 inch. They are first-class fighters, fighting the war against the inclination to their last drop of blood, and their only wish is to win the battle for the glory of His name. Let's read it again. At the end of the day, this is a group of people who've gathered in a certain place under a certain leader to be together. Okay, so this is our situation, basically. Okay, and what we want to do is attain a certain goal. So we have a guide, we have a group of friends. In spirituality, they say a soul will teach a person. So hopefully, once we enter spirituality, if you get in there, your soul becomes your teacher. What does that mean? Well, it means you have a connection with the Creator, right? So the Creator is that leader, actually, because the Creator leads the world. And like in the previous excerpt that we read, we just have to understand, well, maybe not understand, but we just have to make some kind of an effort to relate to whatever is happening to us in a correct way, so that we can actually progress as best we can. A baby also doesn't know how they're growing up. Okay, they're just reacting. So we also need to also study how to react, how to relate to what's happening to us. With superhuman courage, they face up to all those who rise against them. Well, if you've studied with us for a while, you understand that our path is a bit of a tricky path, okay, with a lot of ups and downs. And sometimes life can get a bit overwhelming, as it does. Right? And what we have to do is we have to just stick it out, as they say. Right? In life, also, a lot of people go through a lot of dramas. You see, they stick it out. And the wisdom of Kabbalah is the same kind of thing. You have to understand we've got to stick this out. All right, so we've got to stay on the path. And no matter what happens, we just keep pushing forward. And that's the most important thing. If people don't push forward in life, you see they get crushed by life. So they become miserable, unhappy, or, God forbid, they even take their own life. And this is not the way to go. Okay? If we don't have hardships in life, we cannot progress in life. And humanity's progress has only been because it's going through some heavy stuff. Okay, and if it didn't, we wouldn't move forward. If we had a good life, we would be in the cave still right now, hunting mammoths. Okay, but obviously that was not something preferred. All right, so okay, we cannot live like this. So, okay, life is teaching us is there must be a better way out. As you can see, we're always, as human beings, instinctively, we're always trying to find a better way out. How can I get out of this situation and do something better? Okay, this is how we progress. It's thanks to this quality of ours that we can face hardships in life. If you look at our history, you'll see that humanity has faced some horrific things, but has never stopped pushing forward. Okay? And this is exactly how we need to work as well. Indeed, they are brave men with a strong spirit, and they are determined not to retreat 1 inch. Now, this is something we have to develop on the path, because actually we're all very, very weak indeed. Okay, we are weak as human beings, but only if we come together, we can be strong. So the unity of the friends, the unity of the group, this is really important, because this gives a good, strong spirit, and it gives encouragement, and this allows us to keep pushing forward and not to retreat. In spirituality, we can't really retreat. We have to push every day. Sometimes you push a little bit more, sometimes you push a little bit less, but at the end of the day, you've got to push forward. And this is sometimes why it gets draining for some people. But if you don't get drained out, you can't come to a desire. If you don't get drained out, if you don't do everything, you can never turn to the Creator. Okay, so actually doing your best and keep wanting to do your best and keep attempting to do it is the only way that's going to bring you to a proper desire for spirituality. Because as you push forward, you're always in this mode of, exerting more and more effort, and always finding yourself in darkness, confusion, lack of success, feeling that you're further and further away from spirituality. And it always feels like you're never going to get this done. And that's exactly the time when you can turn to the Creator. And if you don't get to such a state, you cannot turn to the Creator. It won't happen. So it's very important to create a connection. In order to create a connection, there has to be a need for a connection. And that need can only happen when we're all pushing for it. They're first-class fighters fighting the war against the inclination to their last drop of blood. And their only wish is to win the battle for the glory of His name. So there's only one reason we're doing all of this, and that's to adhere or to reach adhesion with the Creator. Okay, that's the purpose of life. Right? We're not getting a kick out of this. We're not torturing ourselves and thinking, "Whoa, what a wonderful life this is." Okay? We're not singing along to that. What we're trying to do is we're trying to attain something. And in life, we understand that if you want to attain something really great, you got to put some extra bone into it. Right? So, and that's what we have to do. Put a bit of backbone into it. That's how it is. All right? And that is all under one intention, one desire. That's to come to bestow to the Creator. Fighting our evil inclination, fighting our egoism is a very tough job. When people go to war on the outside in corporal reality, it's much more easier because they don't care about killing themselves, they care about killing others. So for them, it's not that difficult actually to go out to war and fight others and kill others. But if you want to sit down, you want to kill your own evil inclination, that's a whole different ball game. And nobody has the perseverance to do that unless a person is really has a strong dot in the heart. Having an awakening is not enough. You have to pump up that dot in the heart, like it said in the previous excerpts. You really have to light it up, because a spark at the end of the day is just a spark. One little wind and it's game over. And this is why a lot of people fail on the path, because they have failed to create a light with the friends' sparks. And this is why their spark is light, it's faint and weak. And one little drama in life, well, it's bye-bye. That's how it pans out. So we have to be really on our toes all the time. And the only way to fight against that evil inclination is through the strengthening of the friends. If we all come together, we can win. And if we don't, well, we go back to life on the outside, and you can count your days. And that's it. All right, no questions yet. Are there any questions? There are 2 questions. Let's answer them quickly. Ingrid's asking, why can't one find the goal even though one has friends on the path and learns Kabbalah? You can find the goal. You can. Who said you can't? We can find the goal, but growing up takes time. Even in life, I've met a lot of people in their 40s still have no idea what to do with their lives. Very interesting people, actually, but still haven't a clue about what they want to do with their lives. It's interesting, you see. They're in their 40s and still are like wondering what to do with themselves. It's not easy, is it? Life isn't. Neither is spirituality. So we're going to have to, put some time into it and effort into it. And we have to understand it takes time for kids to grow. It's going to take time for us to grow. Ray says, can you give us an exercise again like last year, please? A daily exercise. Thank you so much. Here's a daily exercise. I've got a notebook. See? And every day I write down here. Here's a bunch of writings here, as you can see. All right. What I can do for the friends today to add to their spirituality. What is my intention, and what can I do for the friends today to add to their strength on the path? And you should always renew your intention every day, put a prayer there, and do something for the friends. In the interim, let's rock and roll onto the Zohar lesson. It's 8:30, and we'll have a chat, God willing, next Tuesday. All the best.